Anyways, Joel, we finally have come up with a name for our last segment. It's called 3 Up, 3 Down, and we're going to alternate questions to you.
Wait, can we actually, you know how this whole podcast is kind of just we go and we can change the rules as we go?
No, I didn't know that. I was not aware that we could just change the rules.
Joel, aren't you on like just you live life in the moment and you can change wherever and you can go wherever the conversation goes?
Oh, absolutely. Like most of the time, my co-host and I just hit record and see what happens.
Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to completely change the game on Vinnie. And I say we try the other one. Try it out. Balls and strikes.
Strikes? Okay.
Yeah.
Joel, this is called balls and strikes. The goal is to get a strikeout. We're going to ask questions, each of us, up until we each either walk you or strike you out. If it's a good question, you say strike. If it's a bad question, you say ball. And it's completely up to you. Alex is going to start. And
now, do I answer only the questions that I deem a strike?
Well, it's up to you.
Okay. I will answer all the questions, but I will definitely call you out for
Rip into the questions if you feel the need to do so.
All right. Are we alternating? Like, is this like a duel?
Whenever you get a ball, I'll go.
Okay. All right.
So you could win. You could win right away. This is for the bragging rights, Alex.
All right. So I got to go with the first one. I got to go with the first one to get the ultimate question, okay? What is one TV show that you love that everybody hates that you can't stop watching?
You know, because I saw how Vinny reacted when you did this question the last time, I'm going to go with a ball just off the plate. But I'm going to go with Friends. I don't understand the Friends slander. Like, I hate the Friends slander on the internet. I don't get it. It's hilarious.
Friends is a very love or hate show. Like, nobody is just like, oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I don't understand the hate for it. I really don't.
Yeah. All right, my first question. Do you prefer drinking out of plastic or glass?
Well, if this is going to be on video, this is a glass. And I'm going to go with a ball because drinking out of plastic cups is when you're like 18 years old in the basement of some dark house in college. When you're a grown-up, you drink out of a glass or a bottle or a can.
That's a great answer because that's what Alex and I have kind of talked about, how most of the older people on the show say glass and the younger guests we have say plastic. So
you're drinking out of a plastic cup because you were underage and terrified of what the consequences could be if you get caught.
All right, Alex. 1-0 count. You're up, kid.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for the hard-hitting strikes right now and get my strikeout right here. Joel, when was the last time you surprised yourself?
Strike, because I did not expect that. That was a 1-0 changeup, I think is what that was. What the outer part of the plate.
Through it. You swung right through it.
Yeah, I was geared up dead red and did not expect that. I was going to surprise myself. Shoot. I would say probably at work today. My boss came up to me and was like, because normally for work, I install doors and windows in like new construction houses in Oklahoma City. You know, kind of is what it is. But he goes, today, this is going to be your project. You're going to build a wall in the door shop to like support, basically so stuff doesn't fall over. And I did it today. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that.
All right. That's a good surprise.
Hey, flew by the seat of my pants and got it done. And my boss said, hey, that doesn't look bad.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Do.
All right, Alex, you're still up. 1-1 count.
All right. If you could host a podcast, not including the two you currently host, and you make a new one, who's one co-host that you want to host it with, but the twist is it has to be someone in your phone contacts.
My phone contacts. Okay. So I'm going to go with my friend Jesse. He brews beer. As you can tell, I'm a beer connoisseur. I'm a beer like nerd, and I love really good, obscure craft beer. So it'd be this conversation where we just sit around with something we've never had before and talk about it and think about what we like, what we don't like, etc. So just a podcast where we get to talk about booze for a little bit,
So was that a strike or a ball?
I'll go with the strike because I like that. I like that concept of a question. So it's 1-2.
All right, Alex, this is a big question right here. Huge question.
All right, this is the big one here. If a 15-year-old kid walked up to you right now and said, Joel, I don't understand baseball. It's boring to me. What are you saying to that 15-year-old kid?
Ooh. See, I like this question, but I'm going to say ball because I don't like whenever someone says baseball is boring, it just irks me a little bit. And so I like the concept, but I'm going to go ball. But what would I say to that guy? I would say just go look at a home run compilation, like a longest home run compilation, and tell me that's not awesome. If you watch a 500-foot home run and you say that's not cool, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, it's 1-0 for me. It's 2-2 for Alex. So if you were the GM of a team, currently at the moment, like no-name team, doesn't matter who it is, whatever, it's the Joel Penfield team, how are you constructing that team?
That's a strike.
Alex, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. He called it a strike.
I didn't say anything.
He's TrackMan. He's the computer strike zone, which we know Joel's a fan of. Joel's a big robot strike zone guy.
How would I construct that team? Oh, that's tough. Like, I think there's a good balance between having, like, for my rotation and for my lineup, you have to have like a minimum like 96-mile-an-hour fastball because, hey, velo eats, man. It eats people up. Give me that and like an average to above average secondary, and I can work with that. For my roster construction, give me speed in center field, give me power in right, give me a good glove in left, power on the corners, a good all-around player at shortstop, an absolute goon behind the plate that's going to just block everything inside. I don't need him to hit more than $180, but just block everything behind the plate and then give me like, I don't know, basically give me Nicky Lopez at second base. Like someone's going to hit enough, but is going to be a lockdown defender.
Yeah. All right. 1-1 count for me. Let's see. I just had a question and it slipped my mind. Oh, in your experience, who is the best hitter, you know, it could be a big leaguer, could be a minor leaguer, could be a college player, whoever, that you have seen in person?
Strike. 1-2.
Alex, stop reacting to every time he calls a strike for me.
All right, Vinny, you reacted when I called the strike too, so don't talk.
Here we go. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joel.
Best hitter I've seen in person. I mean, I've seen Barry Bonds before, but I was too young to really know. I watched. God, that's so tough. Okay, no, that's not that. Ichiro, man. I said I lived in Seattle for when Ichiro came to Seattle in 2001. Mariner, he was my favorite player really until he retired.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like that's just a dude that just knew the zone, knew how to hit. Man, like it was just special when he would just do his thing. I watched him lead off a game. I still remember it was 2004. It was Mariners and Royals. And my dad's a Royals fan. Obviously, I love the Royals, but at heart, I'm a Mariners fan just because that was my team when I was growing up. And my dad splurged, got tickets right behind home plate for Mariners Royals. I was I was in second grade. I was so excited. Ichiro hit a ball over the bullpen in right field to lead off the game. And the Mariners won like 15-3. And my dad was like, oh, God. But anytime I got the chance to watch him or any other Mariners game, Ichiro was always I got up at 4 a.m. or whatever it was to watch his final game when they played in Japan last year. Like that's how obsessed I was with watching him play.
Yeah, that was a special moment because I did the same thing. And I love Ichiro. I'm not like a diehard Ichiro guy, but like that was still a moment where I was like, I need to wake up and watch this game just because it's something special.
Oh, yeah.
Next question. Out of anybody, you have seen, doesn't necessarily have to be in person, who do you think is the greatest leader in baseball history? It could be a manager, could be a player, could be a front office member.
Do I play the game and like Angel Hernandez this, or do I just piss off one of the hosts? Because this is a really good question, but I also want to keep the game going. But I want to keep. But I also want to keep the game going because I know Alex has some stuff too.
Alex has nothing.
Oh man, that's a good question.
Huh, strike 3. Come on.
No, he said that's a good question, not a great question. Big difference. He did not call a strike yet, right, Joel? You did not call a strike.
I did not call a strike, and purely to keep this going because I'm curious what he has because this was even up 2-2. I'm sorry, but Angel Hernandez missed the ball right down the plate. But I'm just screwing with Vinnie at this point.
That is just a tough call.
Greatest leader I've seen. Man, that's really tough.
Or I guess I could frame it in a different way because that is a tough question, like to answer. Who is one manager you really wish like you could play for or be in the clubhouse with?
Oh man, yeah. See, that's a little different. I like that variation better. That doesn't change my call, but I like that variation better. Honestly, man, and there's some Royals bias in here. But man, I would love to play for Ned Yost.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is someone I would 100% want to play for. I may be forgetting somebody somewhere. Oh, Joe Madden too. Like just because I'd love to hear the crap he says. Yeah. Terry Francona would give me some good stories.
Yeah,
there are some guys in there that I would 100% want to play for.
Mm-hmm. All right, Alex.
2-2, big pitch coming right here. All right, Joel. You say you want to be a major league scout, and I know you will. And you got to trust the process. Who is the most underrated Kansas City Royals minor leaguer right now?
That's a ball. That is absolutely a ball.
Underrated. See, that's the tough part of this question. But just to make Vinnie mad, strike 3.
That is just unbelievable. But whatever. You take your losses.
Underrated. See, I feel like Kyle Isbell doesn't get enough love sometimes. Like he may be top 10, but I feel like he gets kind of lost in the shuffle. That dude can play. And he saw if you watch some of the alternate site clips, he's hitting nukes in that stadium. He made a diving catch at the wall and ball Nick Heath into the warning track. Like that's a guy that's going to be manning a big league outfield here soon. And I feel like he's going to be really freaking good. But honestly, I'm not, and this is purely not trying to kiss up to Vinny.
No, Joel.
I'm saying this dude's legit. I'm not joking.
Well, that feels nice. That feels nice. Thanks, Joel. Thanks. We love this.
This is the guy that it would not surprise me if in the next year, like maybe by the beginning of 2022, if he's not cracking a top 30. I'm not lying about that.
And at that point, that's when I just leave Alex. It's like, hey, see ya, Alex. Top 30. I'm just kidding. Alex, I would never leave you. Don't take that seriously. I would never leave you.
I mean, to be fair, I believe in our Royals Farm rankings, he's already a top 30. But I mean like Pipeline, Baseball America, like some more like bigger, scouting places. You know what I mean?
Well, thanks. That was enough talk about me. I do have an interesting question that I find interesting. You might not, but has there been – I know you haven't been there, but 3 years. Has there been a player that you have just either been – very right about or very wrong about?
I feel like I was pretty right on Jackson Kowar. I liked him from the draft, like very early on. Alex and I have been kind of manning the Jackson Kowar fan club. And like Brady Singer and Daniel Lynch got a ton of the love out of that 2018 class. But that was always the minute I saw that guy's changeup, I'm like, oh, that'll work. That'll be just fine.
Yeah.
If you have a fastball and a changeup, you're going to dominate the lower levels. You're going to dominate low A, you're going to dominate high A, and you're going to be just fine in double A as you're working on that third pitch. If he gets that curveball right, his fastball's up to 99 with an absolute bastard of a changeup. That guy's going to be a really good mid-rotation piece, if not even 1-2 at least.
I think 100 with a good changeup normally plays pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 100 will play.
Yeah.
So this is a really interesting question for you guys. I'll turn the tables real quick. Would you rather have a pitcher that has 3 50-grade pitches or 1 80-grade pitch and 2 40s? So 1 elite pitch and 2 below average, or 3 that will play at the big league level right away when you draft them?
So it's 50. I don't know enough about like scouting.
Okay, so 20.
Average?
So in the 20 to 80 scale, 50 is like considered a league average. Like you would produce at the big level with these tools, and anything above that is even better. Like 80 is considered like Hall of Fame elite. So like that's a hitter. That's a dude you know is going to hit 340. That's a dude that's going to throw 100 miles an hour. That's there's some other variations of it, but.
I would answer the question by saying if it's an 80-40-40, I'll take the 80-40-40. But if it was 70-40-40, I would take the 50-50-50, I believe, is how I'd answer that.
For me, I think it has to be the 80-40-40, just because if you're confident about your coaching staff, you can take the 80 and hopefully make it into 85 and hope to take the 40s and make it into 40.
I don't think you can go above 80, Alex.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. Or even just 80-45. I mean, I'm going to go 80-40-40.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go because especially I'll take this from a pitching perspective. You get a dude that throws 100. Okay, if nothing else, he's a reliever. You just need at that point, you need to take one of those secondary pitches and make that a 50 or 55. You're good to go.
Yeah.
It's like looking at like Josh Staumont. Like dude throws 100 in his sleep. But he got that big overhand curveball to start working for him, and you saw what he did at the big league level this year, just shoved people.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joel, 30 seconds. Let everybody know where they can find you. What do you bring to the table on social media? WWE promo for us. Get people to follow you. Come on, let's see it.
Follow me at JT Penfield. I tweet a lot about Oklahoma State, the Royals, other baseball stuff. I tweet funny memes of dogs, and I talk a lot about beer and whiskey too. I'm a good all-around follow if you really just want to laugh a little bit on Twitter. It's more my tweets are more of a shotgun blast. They're not all great, but there's at least one a day that's funny.
Anything that tickles your fancy, Joel will help you out with. Anything you need, he's the guy. He's got everything in that toolbox. And we were pumped to have you on today, Joel. This was a wonderful interview, and I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. I mean, shit, you had Jessica Kleinschmidt on last night. The fact that I'm in the same boat with her and some of these other people we had on, are you kidding me? This is
Alex,
awesome,
you better clip that and send it to her because she's going to love that. She's going to love that clip.
I'm not even joking. She's one of my favorite people to follow in the game of baseball. I'm not joking.
Between Jess and Vinnie, I don't know, Joel. I don't know. If someone's sending you a paycheck, I got to figure out who it is.
Don't worry about it, Alex. Notice what he never said about you. Anything.
That is not true. Alex has been awesome. He's followed me since last season when he was doing the Burlington thing. Like, you've done awesome work. I've seen all the interviews you've done. Like you interviewed like Bob Costas and John Heyman and all that. Like, my goodness, man, you're killing it. You really are.
You know what? It is about time that we blew up Alex on this podcast because this is a very Alex Fuse friendly podcast. Even though I might not seem like I am, I love this guy. I mean, the guy just does it all. So, Joel, I know this was your interview, but I just want to talk about Alex here for the next 10 seconds. Alex, you just keep doing your thing. You look good. You're going home here in a few days, I think. Your quarantine's almost over, so that's big time. And we're all just really excited for you to get back onto Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be, because you always bring the heat to the timeline, just like Joel Penfield does it. JT Penfield 12, right?
Nope, just JT Penfield.
Just JT Penfield. Hit that follow button. Let them know you're thinking about it, because that's what we are doing here.